Hi, welcome to the Eagle Mom Squad Co-op Review. We're going to introduce a whole bunch of different co-op leaders and they can tell you about their co-op coming up for this fall. And the first one that we have recorded is Jackie, who will tell you all about Tuesday Connections. Jackie, do you want to give it a go?
Sure. Thank you for the introduction. So like she said, my name's Jackie. I'm one of the leaders that is in charge of the Tuesdays Connection. We meet at York Springs Bible Church on Tuesdays from September throughout May. And it's pretty much every Tuesday. I run it with two other ladies, but we are new leaders. So we got we've been a part of it for a few years, but we just came into this leadership role recently. But at our co-op, most of the teachers are just parents who help to run the co-op. But we also have a few members at the church that also help us out. And it's really great that they just want to volunteer their time to help with this Christian co-op, because since we meet at the church, it is a Christian co-op. That's how they allow us to meet there. And they're so great that they don't charge us anything. So we're very fortunate to have them. But we are not a drop-off co-op. So we depend on all of our parents to stay and help out. They can choose whether they want to teach or not. But like I said, the teachers are the parents. So it's great if people who want to join us can teach as well. But we do have two adults in each class. So that's why we have parents stay. So that way, even if they're not teaching, they can still be in a class and helping out with whatever responsibilities the regular teacher might need. So in the spring, we usually start us off by having a meeting with the families that are coming back to kind of decide on what classes we have to offer throughout the year. And we separate these classes into different age groups. So we go all the way down from pre-K all the way up to high school. And we divide them into different groups. So we have a pre-K, a kindergarten, and then we go into sections of first to third grade, then fourth to sixth grade, then seventh and eighth, and then high school. And we have usually 5 classes. It depends on the year. That's what we have this year. So 5 classes for each of the age ranges, and these last about 35 minutes. So for those of you interested for this year, it changes every year, but for this year, the classes we have for high school are Bible, and then we have a double period of speech, so to allow more time for them to have to talk in class. And then we also have a double period of anatomy. So even though it's like 5 class period, they only have 3 subjects because we combined a couple of periods together. And then for middle school, we have a Bible, an intro to speech class, a logic class, an art class, and a science class. And with the science class, we use the Good and the Beautiful curriculum. And this year we're using arthropods and then the reptiles, amphibians, and fish. And then fourth to sixth grade, I'm just going down in order. And so the fourth to sixth grade and the first to third grade are mostly doing the same type of classes. So they'll also doing Bible, they have Bible classes, and then they are doing music for half of the year where they'll do basic music theory and then learn how to play a few songs on the flutophone. And then we have line dancing for half the year, and then art and science as well. And the science is the same as with the 7th and 8th graders with the Good and the Beautiful. And then, so those were 4 classes. And then the 4th to 6th graders will also have a history readers theater class. And then the 1st to 3rd grade will have a US geography class. And in that time, the readers theater will do like the performances to the 1st to 3rd graders during their geography class to try to incorporate the two together, is the plan. So hopefully it goes well for the year. And then our kindergarten and pre-K teachers or the classes stay with our teachers the whole time. And then they go through different activities and learning stations throughout the day. But unfortunately, all younger kids is really lacking with the amount of kids that we have. So if anybody wants to join the really little kids coming up, we could use some more people throughout the upcoming years. But we're pretty full with the first to third grader. So all the families seem to have a kid in that range.
Right. About
um,
how many families do you have involved?
so we have close to, I'd say about 20 or so, between 15 and 20. Um, Most of them have stayed on since last year. We added a couple, and we had a couple that dropped off and went to different groups. But the majority of us have stayed on. And so we get to be pretty familiar with each other, which is great. So we can build those connections. Um, and also through the church, the church is a very big homeschool oriented church. So a lot of the people, they might just come and attend the church and they're like, oh, there's a homeschool area here. And so we get a lot of people that way as well. But since we require our parents to help out, we are able to keep our costs fairly low, since we don't have to pay any outside teachers or anything. So this year, it usually stays about the same, but this year our cost is $60 for the family for the whole year. And if you teach, it's $30 for the family. So it's a little bit of a discount to be like, yeah, you want to teach? Come join us, because it's not going to be too much, hopefully. But this fee is used to cover teaching, anything that the teacher might need, or classroom supplies is essentially what that is used for. So any other costs besides that, that the families might have to pay would just be individual supplies, such as like the Good and the Beautiful has the student books. So they would need like a student book for each child. So it's just little things like that. Some classes, they might need something, and some classes they don't. Like the high school this year, they got off pretty easy. The only thing they needed anything for was anatomy.
Wow, right. Okay.
So they got lucky on that one. And then, so I said that during the school year, we meet on Tuesdays throughout September through May. But one of those weeks a month is usually a field trip day. So we have a lady who plans out all of our field trips. She's one of the leaders one of our other leaders. She plans out all the field trips. It's about 6 a year, because we don't do one on the months where there's a holiday. So Thanksgiving, Christmas, and in the spring when Easter falls. We don't have a field trip those months, but all the other months we do. So it averages to about 3 weeks of in class and then one field trip. And so if families choose to go on a field trip, because they're all optional, that would be an out-of-pocket expense as well. But because we're a group, we get a discounted price compared to if they would go on their own. Right. So that's at least a benefit of, well, you can at least go and get less of a price, even though you still would have to pay on your own. Let me see. I'm trying to think what else we need. If anybody is interested for this year, I know a lot of co-ops have deadlines. We don't have a set deadline in place, but the classes that are filling up, we would have to kind of stop those, just because we don't have enough helpers to have a huge class. So like our first to third grade class, we have, I think, currently 16 kids in it. And we don't want to do a whole lot more than 16, because that's already more than we've had recently, but we'd absolutely max it at 20. But right now it'd probably be more of a case by case basis. If you have kids in other ages, we'd be more likely to say yes than if it's just that age. If that makes any sense.
Yeah.
But we don't want to say no to anybody at the same time. Right. If you want to come and join us, we want to have you. We just want to have you come to us maybe in the spring, so we know that you're coming. Right. So that way if we get 40 kids of first to third grade, then we can plan accordingly and we can divide it up a little bit better. Just so that way we're not too many kids in one class, because our room sizes just can't accommodate that many kids. And speaking of that, we can, if you're maybe interested in looking at co-ops, we encourage people to come and just check us out. No commitment. You can be in contact with me and come visit at any point in time throughout the year so you can see. And then in the spring or summer, you can say, oh, yes, I want to join, or no, it's not for me. And either way is fine, because we want to make sure that it's a good fit for those who want to join. Because
Right,
there's
right.
so many different co-ops out there. So we know that ours is one style and it might not fit for everybody, and that's completely fine.
Yeah. And I was
But
wondering,
sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to ask, do the kids have sort of recess? Do they go out and play during the day?
So we don't, we only meet from 11:30 to about 3 o'clock. So
Oh,
it's
okay.
not a super long day. So we don't actually have any like breaks. The younger kids do, like the pre-K and kindergarten. They have time that they like run around and between different like stations or centers. So they have time. But once they're in, and they get snack time and stuff like that too.
Mhm.
But once they're in first grade, we don't do like a recess since we're only there for like 4 hours anyways.
Right,
And
right.
we have like 5 minute breaks between classes.
Oh, okay.
So we have discussed that in the future about possibly having like a little 15-minute break in the middle of the day. But we haven't looked in depth into that.
Right, right.
But that is a
Makes sense.
possibility we might do for some of the ages in the future. Um, but if those families who decide that they do want to join us, we do have a registration form for families to fill out. And then that has on there a mark for a registration fee, which is that $60 or the $30 of teaching. Typically for the first year, we don't have first year families teach just because we want to make sure that they know that it is a right fit for them before committing to the whole year. Because if it's not right and you need to drop, we don't want to have to be looking for a teacher last minute. And because that happens sometimes, and it's completely understandable, especially the ones who have little kids, and it's just hard to make it through the day with when you have a lot of littles. And then we do require clearances as well, just the child abuse and the PA, the federal police, whatever that one's called.
Okay.
So those two clearances, and they say it on the registration form.
Okay.
And that's just for the main person who's going to be bringing them. So if there's a day that maybe a parent works on an occasional Tuesday or something, and they want to send them with a grandparent, that's fine. It's just they just need to know that they have to stay with them during the day. But besides that, we just encourage anybody to check us out and see what we're all about.
That's great.
Yeah.
And I think we mentioned we'll put all of the contact information in the description so people
Yes.
can reach out and find your registration page and form. And
Yes. And we meet at York Springs Bible Church. And so anybody who's interested can check out the page there. And the office manager there can get you in contact with me. I'm usually the one that's in charge of the communications, so I'd be the person that you'd be sent to anyways, though.
okay. And what's your start day for the year?
So we start this year September 1st. So usually we start after Labor Day, but since Labor Day comes so late this year, we're starting the week before.
All right.
Just since we have high school classes, we want to have enough classes for them to get through all of the material that they need.
Right.
Back before when we had high school classes, because we've only been doing an official high school, I believe, just the last couple of years. And so before that, it was kind of like, when do we want to end? Maybe beginning of May, see how people feel. But now we're a little bit more like, we're going to go to this date because the high school is needed.
Right. Gotcha. And everybody else benefits, I guess.
Exactly.
Okay. Well, thank
we
you
might be
very
starting to
much.
drag a little bit at the end, but you can make it.
Right. Jackie, it's been great talking with you, and thank you for all of the details about this wonderful co-op.
Of course, thank you for having me.
Sure, and we'll post this and hope people find you soon, except for that age range from third.
Yeah, that first to third grade.
Right.
We want to see you in the spring.
Yes.
Please contact us then.
And it's great that you guys are thriving. That's really wonderful. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you.